right, so kind of a new format. We're going to do a little bit of discussion here, kind of post-mortem about what happened to us. And one thing we wanted to mention, we left Ennis, Texas, and it looks like a beautiful scenic drive, and then we show up in the stockyards and all this. But before that happened, at the end of the other video, we had a little bit of fun. The car started sounding a little different. I thought it was like an exhaust issue, like is it decoupling at my ball flange? I mean, what? It just started running a little different. Didn't performance-wise, I mean, I just drive it. I don't hot rod it at all. I'm not doing burnouts or anything. So it's hard to say what it really is. We pull off. We kind of look around underneath the car to see, does the muffler fall off? I mean, what's different? And it's really noticeable, like unburnt fuel on that driver's side exhaust when I was back behind the tire there. We're like, all right, we're just a few minutes. We're going to try to get to this Hooters somewhere kind of by Summit up in Arlington, I guess.
Yeah.
And we find out they're closed. I was like, well, don't shut the car off because the starter wire might be off. So we're, kind of frantic there. And then we say, okay, there's a Chick-fil-A right up here. Let's just stop in at Chick-fil-A. We get our food. We're like, all right, we're going to get some gas, and then we're going to hit the road again. We're kind of re-energized or whatever. And then what happens, it seems like we run out of gas. And then the starter wire's not on. I was like, all right, get the jack out of the trunk. We go mess with all that. And I get the car up in the air, and Bob starts looking at it. What do you see?
Walking around, starter wire's off, obviously. I was like, you got to be kidding me. We've been fighting this thing for forever. It's just, at this point, it's just a nuisance. Then I just like, all right, I want to see if I can see if there's anything wrong with why this thing's running funny. I'm looking at all the plug wires. Even side's good. And then I go to the driver's side. 1's good, 3's good, 5 good, and I'm looking at 7. Because 7's always been a pain. Because if you're changing the spark plugs, you got to go underneath the car to get to it and get it out.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at
really weird there.
Yeah, it like loops over it funny. So I'm looking at it, and I put my flashlight on. I was like, 7's off. He's like, what? I was like, number 7 spark plug wire is not even on the spark plug.
Was I there? I was thinking maybe I was running to get gas when you did all that.
No, you were still fiddling with the. This was before we figured out the best way to get to the terminal, because This is before we figured out just take the bolts loose and bring it down a little bit so you can get to it.
Oh, so we're still.
So we're still we were still newbies. It's not something you want to be good at, is pulling your starter a little bit to mess with a wire. So I'm like, yeah, number 7's just not even on. So we put number 7 on. You go get some gas because it ran out, and then
that was no fun.
Yeah,
pack gallons of gas.
Yeah,
probably should just got one.
Pack everything up, start the car. I sound like, oh, it's already running better. It doesn't smell funny anymore. Doesn't sound weird.
So then we drive all of half a mile to the other gas station, the Quick Trip we wanted to hit, because Quick Trip by us is the best gas station really to get. And then
good premium fuel.
Shut the car back off. Oh, go check and make sure the terminal's on. It's still on. All right, we can shut it off officially now.
Yeah, it became a habit. Every time we shut the car off, pull the flashlight out, look at the terminal, make sure it's still on there.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate deal there.
All right, here's your morning update. All Bob Race Team. We are on the road. We are north of Duncan, Oklahoma, on our way to see the largest leg statue thing, like from the Christmas Story. So apparently somewhere in a town I can't pronounce the name without seeing it written down on paper is this attraction. So we'll hit that. That's the last checkpoint of this route, and then it's off to OKC Thunder Valley Raceway, hopefully for racing later today. This right here is a sweet sound. Cruising through a little town here, 1,000 stoplights. This car got hot, and it turns out we got a bad relay. Luckily I kept a spare after what happened when we went up for Woodward Nights, but look at that. Woo! It was probably higher than that a little while ago. We've been trying to soak it down, but yeah, scary situation. Not a terribly big deal. We're going to get back on the road here in a minute. We have stopped at Twin Peaks in Oklahoma City, 45 minutes out of the route, and there's the Bows, pissed off as always. on the property. And as luck would have it, people have already left, and we're getting the sun going down, and somebody's nice toter is going to make shade for us. We don't even have to put up our canopy. That'll make tearing down our camp a little bit quicker. All Bob Race Team. Day 3 of racing. Check us out on live stream, Bank Shift. I have some leftover steak from lunch. I specifically asked for them to give me foil so I can try to reheat it using my engine. We'll see how good it is here in a couple minutes after we finish unloading. The steak originally was a medium rare, and now I'd say we're pretty much medium. Just while we unpack the car, heat up some steak for a little late night, well, not late night, but late evening snack for us. Our meal plan is a little off schedule as we do these trips, so. And how we had a bit of a rough day, right?
That's an understatement.
We came into it with all this euphoria. We sat in the air conditioning at Twin Peaks looking at lovely ladies, eating delicious food, had a little leftover steak we heated up on the engine to get a little snack. And then the wheels came off the bus, kind of.
Yeah.
So we go out, we lay this egg on the first pass. We kind of shortcutted it a little bit. Like, we have these mid pipes we can pull off that I've claimed that are worth a tenth of a second. We didn't do that. We roll out the number and roll out the car. It probably was heat soaked because that's the day the relay was acting silly. And we run a 1074. So
Yep.
I think we'd already seen John had run.
Yeah, he went like a 1060 or something, his first pass. Or his second pass. His first pass, he spun and went 11 something.
Okay. You were on the app more than I was.
Yeah, I was watching the times.
And that's one of the cool things about Thunder Valley and some of these tracks having the app, right? You don't have to sit at the starting line to know what's going on in the event. You can just go to the app and say, oh, he ran. Okay, what'd he do? All right, so we throw our 1074 down, and that's not going to cut it. We go back. I think we started with a timing setting that was a little different than what we've ran the first 2 days. We kind of go the other direction. I think we went lower, and now we're going to go up for our second pass. Now, one of the interesting things about Rocky Mountain Race Week is they give you the fast pass. And so we're like, if we do a fast pass now, we can probably get 2 more hits at the track. Because we kind of waited, right? We sat in the air conditioning because it was so hot. We didn't want to just sit there and bake all day.
Yeah, we didn't get there till probably 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was late.
So we get that pass in. Don't like it. We're going to fast pass after making a quick change just to turn around, get up to the lanes, take advantage of that, and here's that pass. Pass was even worse. we had all that timing. I tried something a little different. I went ahead and hit the button on the gear vendor to split second gear to make it like a second gear overdrive, which is effectively making my 350 ratio a 390. And that really should give us some top end oomph because we're going to stay higher in the RPMs. And Yeah, what was your reaction when you saw 1080 on the board?
I was not happy. I was actually quite PO'd, to be honest. We put all that work in. Not really. We turned the car around real fast, changed the timing. We thought putting it higher in the timing would do something, and it laid an egg.
Yeah, and you're like, well, why did you do that with the button? You haven't done that all week or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
I thought it was dumb.
It worked at Bandimere.
Yeah, it's when they had no air, though. I mean, there was no air, but it was still under.
Yeah, it
Mountain level.
4,500 feet of air like we had there. It was so hot. It should have made a difference. All right, so now we're going to go back to the original timing we had. I think it was 36 degrees is what we were running the first couple of days. We're like, we'll go back to 32. We're going to take those mid pipes off, and then we'll get up there and catch our group on the last round here. So we go up there, and Lucy, in true fashion, as soon as he's ready to send us, tick, tick, and then nothing. And then we look at each other. I say, go look at the starter wire. We've been having problems with it. That spade wire. You get the flashlight out. What do you see?
It's holding on for dear life. I mean, it's just barely on, but not enough to where it's making a connection.
I think you tried to push it on with something and it fell off.
Yeah.
And then you had to go run across the starting line to a
dude.
shed, I don't know, 250 feet from where we were and drag this big old jack with you.
I actually ran with it, and then that was not fun. Don't run with jacks, kids. It does not end well.
So he gets back with the floor jack. Meanwhile, the other cars had to go because they weren't going to wait on us. We get the car in the air. I had my fireproof jacket so I can reach up in there and not worry about burning my arm or anything. I slide the spade back on there, set it back down. They let us get back into the rotation. We make a lick. It's enough to keep us in contention, but it sure wasn't enough to make us like jump for joy that, hey, we got this, because I think John laid down an even better run.
Yeah, I think he matched our Ennis time with the 10:47.3.
Okay. So he put the gap on us.
Yeah, he
Put it on us pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
So I think the average is going into the last day. I think we moved up to like 57.
I think
he went to 52 maybe.
Going in the end of the day, he was at 52. We were at 54. 10:54. He was at 10:52.
I thought we had to make it more than the 02 on the last. I thought we were like 03 off of him.
It was almost 03.
So that's the end of this video. We're just going to stop it here at Oklahoma City. Obviously, the track kicked our butt. The heat, not so much because we stayed out of it. So we're still in good spirits. But we're in second place now. John Doherty had come around us. And we've got to make up quite a bit at Mocan. For a 40 average, it really is a lot worse than it seems by just being 200 or 300ths off of them. So I was hoping to put the super secret code into this video, but I didn't want to make a 25-minute video out of this since we added the studio footage. So hopefully you enjoyed it. The next video will be the last to summarize our experience. So tune in for that. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you don't already. We'll see you on the next one.